Alrighty. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. We are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host with the most. There we go. It even spoiled my intro. I mean, OBS shenanigans. What are you gonna do, right? Let's just wait for the stream to catch back up. Yada. Come on. Come on, preview. There we go. I think the stream health is back to what we wanted. Anyways, all right. So, sorry about that little mishap, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just start again. Hi, everybody. It's me, Griever, here to do some Shuumatsu no Valkyrie. Record of Ragnarok, chapter 77 has dropped today. So, as per our always, we are going to be doing a, of course, reaction stream to the chapter. The unfortunate thing I was trying to talk about was I almost always do a stream, of course. But this chapter only has 32 pages. So I'm hoping where it's an end of round chapter, even though it's only 32 pages, there's going to be a lot of that shit in 32 pages. You know what I mean? A lot of things to talk about, wonder about, discuss, all that kind of fun jazz. So I still felt that it was worthy of doing a reaction stream, right? Like that kind of idea, right? And yes, I will quickly run down the list. Yes, my One Piece reaction is recorded. Yes, my Kengan Omega reaction is recorded. Yes, my Yona reaction is recorded. I was quite busy the last 2 days and had quite a few computer tell. It's apparently still not completely fixed. That's 3 times OBS has failed already in the last 5 minutes. So God knows how this stream is going to go, in all honesty. I don't really know how to fix it. You know, other than to not pay my internet bill and be like, you damn people, fix my internet, right? Because it should be fine. I pay for premium internet. I should be getting premium connections, right? But anyways, yeah. So, and also the other video that's, of course, coming out is eventually going to be the me ranking. Now that round 8 is completed, I'm going to be doing my own personal ranking video of the current 8 rounds, right? From, you know, my favorite to least favorite kind of idea. Now, there was a poll done on Misk's Discord and a few Reddits and stuff like that, I believe, that he posted the results in his 3-year anniversary stream. I believe that's still, there's a VOD up for that, so definitely go check that out. And congratulations to Misk for 3 years. But also, yeah, so the poll results were out on there. Definitely try to, you know, you guys can go check those out. I don't know if you can check them out still in Misk's Discord. You can certainly ask. I'm sure the results are somewhere. I'm sure there's a link somewhere like that. But over 300 voters, I believe, something like that, and at the very least. And yeah, so unfortunately, round 1 is still at the bottom of that. Round 1 was still at the very bottom. Everyone's least favorite round is round 1. This is so sad. So yeah, and we'll get to the chapter here. We're just going to wait. Hopefully the internet sort of stabilizes here. We'll wait for a few more people to jump in. We'll talk to the chat for a minute. And then, you know, our usual pre-stream crap without an official time on when the pre-stream ends, right? Let's see what we got in here. I see we have 5 people, but only 2 likes. This is so sad. I like even odds, guys. I like even odds. So if we got 5 people in here, 5 likes is like only natural, right? Let's see. So did it do it again? Did you cut out on me again? Oh no, that's just YouTube this time. OBS is fine. Okay, so that's just YouTube. Is it actually going to pause? I have no idea. The chat's actually still running right now while it says I have no data. But I still got the green symbol, so I don't know. Anyways, all right, let's check in with the chat, by the way. Let's check in with the chat. So Irene is in here and says, TIL. I'm bad with text talk, man. I'm going to say, all right, so Till, a lot of Portuguese-speaking readers don't seem to have liked round 8. I wonder why that is. I wonder if there's a correlation. See, sometimes it's one of those funny things. Stats are funny sometimes, right? People pull stats out of their ass from Google to prove I'm right. They go to imright.com, pull out a bunch of stats that are relevant to their argument. But I always find these type of stats kind of interesting. Like, is it just so happened that the Portuguese people you've spoken to don't like round 8? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, granted, I believe you, but I don't get why specifically people who speak Portuguese would have a bigger problem with round 8 than any other fan of the series, right? So that's interesting. That's definitely interesting. Miss Content's in here. Hello, Misk, and he says, "Good afternoon, folks." Good afternoon. Joseph's in here and says, "Griever, why do you think there are some people and articles on the internet that try to say Nikola Tesla's hype today is because of conspiracy theorists?" Because a lot of people grew up in at least North America. I can't speak to European school systems, but a lot of us grew up not being taught Tesla. We were taught Edison. Because Edison was favored by the companies and the big shots and things like that. So a lot of people, because of the internet, of course, unless a kid went and looked up Tesla's name or how AC power was generated and stuff like that, you wouldn't know Nikola Tesla's name and that, that kind of idea. At least when I grew up in school and stuff, it was always about Edison. Edison, Mr. Lightbulb and stuff like that, right? He invented the light bulb. Okay. And back then, the internet wasn't what it was today. I think today is because now Tesla's been at the forefront and people realize, holy shit, he was the GOAT. And now people, of course, there always has to be people that come and go and say, I guess just negative. People like to be negative. People feed off of negative things. People feed off of negative emotions. Religious people, political people, hardcore group people. Anybody that's part of a group, like anybody like, I got 2 million people in my group and they're like this. They're fanatical. They're fanatical about being negative towards anything that they don't believe. So I can't speak to it really, Joseph, but I think that was part and parcel to it, is that Nikola Tesla wasn't really taught in school. And when the internet came around and people said, I wonder where this came from, all of a sudden people were going, why the hell don't we know about this genius? Why aren't we taught about him? So, oh my Christ, OBS. Wow. This is going to be one of my worst streams, isn't it? Yep. So all my problems with the internet are clearly still here. Damn. Well, we'll try to get through this. We will try to get through this. God damn it. I'll just have to... I got to give my computer a break, I think. That's why I tried to give my computer a break before, but maybe I should, leave it off. I try not to leave my computer off for too long because I find Windows tries to update. Even though the computer's off, the computer's not really off and tries to do updates that I don't want. So, yeah. Anyway, Joseph said, and didn't he invent AC or the other inventions he's credited for? He's the first electrician. He's the first real electrician. He invented AC power, which is predominantly the more efficient and the common power source in the world. So DC power does exist, but it's not as efficient. And it depends on the application. I shouldn't say that. It depends. Joseph said, I seriously don't get why people have this vendetta against the fact of how brilliant he was, so many people admire him. Once again, it's because it's new. And it's cool to hate on things. It's always cool to hate on something nowadays. The internet is... For all the good the internet does, it's done just as much bad things, and giving a bunch of nameless cowards a voice to be able to say, you suck, you're a loser, and be a bully on the internet due to, people just trying to get along and stuff. We could get into we can go deep and down that rabbit hole, but we're not going to. Just said, he's already dealt with enough ridicule in his life. Why does he have to continue instead of acknowledging that he's an incredible man? Intelligent people will acknowledge he's an incredible man. A little cracked, but incredible. And a genius. Whoever you're talking to is just clearly an idiot. And what do they always say? Don't argue with an idiot because they'll take you down to their level and beat you with experience because they're that fucking stupid. So yeah. Jeff said, can I say something new that we get in this chapter? Nope. Nope, not until I read the chapter. We have, I can't pronounce any of that. It's an Uchiha, so a Naruto fan, I'm assuming, says, hello. Hello there. Good night. Good night there. Tenryo saying, I love this chapter. Hope you enjoy it. Me too. Irene said, well, a lot of criticism I've seen of round 8 is from Portuguese or Spanish-speaking readers. In general, they were upset over Tesla's loss or his abilities. Once again, as a Tesla fan and as someone who didn't like Beelzebub, we've done this a million times, but narratively speaking, it ruins this next coming round if Tesla wins. Tesla wins, it completely ruins round 9. There's no tension in round 9 if Tesla won round 8. I'm sorry, guys. That's just the way it stacked up. Maybe if the author or mangaka had planned it better, it wouldn't have come down to that. But round 5 was no different. Round 5 was going to be Shiva's win, and round 8 was going to be Beelzebub's win. Just the way the story has progressed. It's sad, but yeah. And I believe you, Rainey. I believe you that a lot of people, but I mean... yeah, I don't know what the correlation to Portuguese and Spanish-speaking readers are to the dislike of round 8, because I know a lot of, like, white people or Canadians or American or whatever who really like Tesla as well, and still like round 8. So, I mean, I love Tesla. I don't like Beelzebub, but I thought round 8 was good. So, I don't know. Rainey said, they also didn't like how Biel was favored, spelt wrong, though I think it was worse with Chin. Yeah, it was way worse with Chin, but Beelzebub had way too much dedication to himself. I can admit that. He 100% did. I think we can all agree on that Beelzebub had way too much screen time. Joseph said the stream's freezing. I know. Randy said, oh, congrats on 1K. I didn't even notice. Yeah, that's another thing. Of course, not only does my internet, not only do I get busy, and by busy I mean I'm procrastinating due to anxiety, but not only am I procrastinating like crazy and stuff on getting shit done, both on YouTube and outside of YouTube and stuff. Not only that, the internet's been choppy at best. And then I also got the 1K, and now I'm behind on a bunch of videos. And yeah, so. But yeah, I didn't even know. I had to be told that too. So yeah, 1,000 subscribers. Yay! Go vote on the poll whether I read or watch Mob Psycho 100. That was the agreement. Joseph said, oh, I didn't even notice reach 1K. Congrats. Thank you very much. Mark says, hello there. Hi, Mark. He said, Tesla was definitely a top 3 human characters Ragnarok for me. I don't know if he's top 3. I'd have to really sit down and think about it, but he was definitely a very good written character. I had no problem with him. I liked Tesla a lot. Luan is in here and says, people who say Tesla fought like an idiot or that a final attack was too predictable forgot that Tesla had no fighting experience whatsoever. That's true, too. You have to remember, some of these guys don't jump into the fray like they're Lu Bu or Thor. They're not warriors. We've seen a lot of warriors, but some of these guys aren't. Jack didn't fight like a warrior because he's not a warrior. He had to use conniving and more lucrative methods of combat. See, other than realistically, other than Jack, we have seen only, up to this point, only warriors and fighters. We have not seen a single non-combatant character fight. Tesla was that guy, and he held his fucking own and nearly beat Beelzebub. So, I mean, I don't see the issue. Justin said, sup. Sup, Justin. Joseph says, Tesla in Ragnarok definitely lived up to the potential we all hoped for. I thought so. I wanted the facial hair, but other than that, he is definitely one of the greatest humans in the series. Sure. Justin said, what did I miss? Nothing much. My internet sucks. Other than that, yeah, the stream's freezing a shit ton, but other than that, we're doing fine. And Mark said, when I saw the list when I first got in the series, I really wanted Tesla to be one of the humans to win. Me too. But now that we've seen how far the series has progressed, you know, like, I really wanted Adam to win. It doesn't make round 2 bad just because Adam lost, right? Heracles is my favorite character in the whole fucking series, and he lost in round 4. Like, you know what I mean? Round 4 is still arguably the best round of the series. Almost universally accepted. So, I mean, you know, just because the character you love or you like loses doesn't make this round bad, and I think that that's a problem with a lot of fans. Their character that they like doesn't win, so the round sucks. For example, I preferred Hades over Chin. That's because Chin is a shitty fucking character, and his round and his powers were bullshit. That's the problem in the pacing of that round. That's the problem with that round. It's got nothing to do with the fact that Hades lost. It's that the way he lost was a little sus, as they say on the internet. You young people use the term sus, don't you? Ever since the Among Us game or whatever. I never played it. It looked like fun, but I never played it. I don't have enough friends to play it. This is so sad. And just said, my only problem with Tesla is I kind of wish she had more screen time, which is a sign of a good character. Yeah, that's true too, but I think Beelzebub kind of... There's another problem. Shorten Beelzebub's lines and stuff in favor of some more Tesla lines. You don't need to extend the chapter number. You need to get rid of the pages dedicated to Beelzebub. Mark said, yeah, I still like the fight. Maybe top 3 fights for me. Yeah, see, I really got to get to that video and make that. Luann said, can't wait for the penultimate round to be the most painfully obvious fight ever. I don't think it will be, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping for like a red herring on that. Alright, so we have 8 people in here, only 5 likes. Let's hit that like button and let's begin, because we've spent enough time with shitty internet and a great chat though. So I'm trading the good with the bad. I got bad lighting because that's another thing. My overhead light's fucked, so I'm trying to use this light without blinding myself. So dark background, bright ass me. I have a great chat. I have shitty internet. This is basically the Libra scales all over again. But anyways, alright, so starting us off. Hero of the Abyss, chapter 77. And there is Heimdall saying, even Nikola Tesla's final suicide attack couldn't reach Beelzebub. The 8th round is a total victory for the gods! I don't know why I'm that excited. I didn't want Beelzebub to win. But alright, so chapter 77, Hero of the Abyss, we see Beelzebub walking off. Alright, so now we get the crowd reaction as always. However, that human was also an incredibly amazing guy, right? He was even known as the only sorcerer in human history, and he definitely lived up to that title. I'd say so. He fucking was teleporting, man. But to defeat him so completely like that, completely, his body's nearly shattering to pieces right now. Defeat him completely. What are you talking about? That's like saying Shiva completely devastated Raiden. Like, Shiva lost 3, basically all his arms. Like, 3 were ripped off and 1 was crushed. That's not an overwhelming victory. That's holy shit, I'm glad that I had 1 working arm left to win that, you know? Jesus. Let's see. So Beelzebub walks up the stairs. That guy is truly amazing. Well, if you have 100 pages of backstory, you better be the best written character in this series. And since you're not, amazing's a bit of a stretch there, but yeah. Well done, Beelzebub. I've reevaluated you, you gloomy bastard. I always knew you could pull through when you had to. We believed in you. Yeah, see, turncoats. Turncoats. See, Beelzebub doesn't like this. He fucking hates this. I guarantee you he doesn't like this. He's like, yeah, because I did something for them, they think I did it for them, they'll switch their opinion of me. But they'll change their minds. They change their minds like they change their fucking underwear. You know? Alright, so let's see. And he walks up the stairs. Oh, how the tables have turned. Yeah, see, Beelzebub might not be my favorite character, but he's definitely going to see through this fucking farce of, as Men in Black, Tommy Lee Jones always said, definitely go check out that movie. The first one's very good. He goes, why the big secret? People are smart. People can handle it. As Tommy Lee Jones once said, a person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals. And it's true. You get 1 person, you can talk some sense into them. You get 100 people, maybe you'll convince a good chunk of them. The moment you have a crowd, no. As a group, people are fucking, yeah, they're not good. That's why I don't believe in organized religion. But let's see. There's not much difference between gods and humans. No, Beelzebub, you're not fucking wrong there. Hey, what do you think, Hades? Yeah. Alright, so he's still talking to Hades and blah, blah, blah. And then let's see. Ares is, phew. In the end, Beelzebub managed to win somehow, but it was a close call. Alright, at least Ares is speaking facts right now. Let's give Ares a little bit of justification there, you know what I mean? And also, have you noticed that even though the crowd's all cheering, yeah, Beelzebub, we've changed our whole opinion about you. We treated you like shit for millennia, but now that you've done us a solid, we're all good. We're all good. Meanwhile, he has to drag his half-broken, bleeding body down a hallway alone. No one there to catch him. No one there to, not like Rudra was there to catch Shiva and stuff like that when he was basically like about to fall down face first after leaving the arena, So it's like, have they really changed? No, of course they haven't. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see. And Hermes, of course, proper man, pouring a nice glass of wine. Would you like some chilled rosé with that, Ares? Indeed, that PPPX technique was a fearsome one. Yeah, that technique the human used at the end. What on earth was that? Even as a god of war, I have no idea what happened. I'm completely clueless. Well, you have been for the most part. So, alright, so Hermes is going to explain Tesla's last attack. I think I understood it pretty good, but let's see if I got some things wrong. Hermes says, well, even I didn't expect it at all. To think that he could teleport only his own arm. Right. Teleport only his arm at that moment. Tesla, who had fired the PPP with his right fist, just before it hit Beelzebub's shield. See, I thought it got shredded originally, but then clearly he made it look like that and teleported it behind it, so he wouldn't suspect. Which, once again, means, like, how would... Like, he timed it so perfectly that even we, the readers, and I know I wasn't alone in that they thought that, boom, Tesla had literally gotten his arm completely, like incinerated, like, completely, like, gone from, like being in a shredder from hitting the shield full force and was losing power. In that instant, that's what I believe happened, and that was the farce that he was pulling. He pulled that timing right down to the minuscule, and fucking still Beelzebub caught it. Like, that's a little... once again, Beelzebub had to win the round. I wish maybe, I don't know. It was a really cool attack, and I really don't think Beelzebub should have been able to react to it in time, but yeah. Just before it hit Beelzebub's shield, teleported only his right fist behind Beelzebub and simultaneously fired the PPP with his left fist. In other words, the PPP explodes simultaneously from the front and the back, an unavoidable pincer attack. Unavoidable? All right, yeah, okay. This is supposed to be a technique that would result in even the wild flurry that looked like brute force could have been just a distraction to buy time. What a surprise. So, an unavoidable pincer attack, but still blocked by... Yeah, all right. I mean, once again, I liked round 8, but I did find the fact that he caught that just kind of, like, outside of his wheelhouse of abilities. But, So let's see. That was exactly... Oh, here's Zeus. A blow that exceeded even the imagination of a god. Alright, yeah. Alright, Zeus. Even I was completely taken back. High praise by Zeus. Even my old man was surprised. If it weren't for Beelzebub, it would have been all over. Truly. And then he's still, like, no one's there to help him. Look, he's leaving the hole. It's like some V for Vendetta shit where he's just leaning against the wall after being a badass. Though, let's all be real. V from V for Vendetta is far more badass than Beelzebub. But he then like, you think he's okay, and then he leans against the wall and just, like, blood all across the brick wall as he drags himself. A terrifying person, no matter how you look at it. Alright. So now we see the humans react. PPPX, that was truly an amazing technique. Utilizing all the functions equipped in the suit. Brilliant. Not only that, the warped right arm had precisely aimed at the target. What kind of application was that? Probably the Tesla particles brought the left and right fists together. But for him to have kept such a technique hidden from us? No, says Edison. That was likely a technique Tesla came up with on the spot and executed through instinctive thinking. Alright, I kind of like this, that Edison's giving praise like, no. He wasn't hiding that. Tesla was literally still making things better and inventing things during a fight. Perhaps witnessing Beelzebub's fighting, sacrificing his own body, he learned to use his abilities to the fullest and develop new skills. He continued to move forward until his very last moment. Nikola Tesla is the greatest scientist of all time. I would argue in reality, Nikola Tesla has to be in the conversation of the greatest scientist of all time. Great, whether you want to call him the greatest inventor or greatest scientist, pick your poison of, or, you know, if you want to nitpick the term scientist or inventor or whatever, but yeah, he's if he isn't the greatest, he's in the fucking conversation. Damn, that research otaku. He's such a positive fool, Edison. After he died, he lit a flame in our hearts. What a meddlesome person! Let's hurry back to our research. We don't have time to stop and rest. We must continue to advance science. That's the will of the greatest scientist in human history, Nikola Tesla. Alright, so positive vibes. So once again, you know, from the speech, and a lot of people compared it to like an atom inspiration sort of idea. The inspiration that Tesla gave to humanity, even in losing, is still, it was a good motivator for them. Lit a fire under them, as said. Let's move forward toward the future. Advance. All right, good. All right, so now we have, of course, Gaul all being upset. Big sis, Gundul. At the end, Sister Gundul was smiling happily. He was satisfied, and she was with Tesla-san smiling. Isn't that right, Sister Hilde? And then she walks off. Sister? You know what? We really have to stop doing that. Like, I'm not saying we don't need, like, crowd reactions. We need to stop doing the exact same scene with a different name plugged in every time between Brunhilde and Gold. Every single time it's, oh, my Valkyrie sister is dead from a Voland, but she did it with pride and she was happy and stuff, and right, sister, like literally every round, I don't need to see this scene another 5 more times after this. I really don't. Like, you have to stop drawing this scene. I'm sorry. Like, at this point, I do not care. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm saying I just don't care. We don't know enough about the Valkyrie to feel sad about it. And she's not sad about Tesla. She's sad about her sister, the Volan, that we met twice. So I just, and to do it every single round is just, nope. With Beelzebub's victory, like I'm not saying she can't do the crying thing, but you could show a single panel of her, like, crying, obviously, that her sister's dead, and maybe just a second panel, Sister Gundul, and that's it. You don't need 3 pages. Like, how many pages was this? Well, it's 2 panels, a whole page. Yeah, so it's a page and a panel and 2 panels. You could literally limit this to the 2 panels of just her being, like, down on the ground. We know Gaul's upset. Move on to the next thing. I'm not trying to hurry the story along, but really, I've seen this scene too many times. Too many times. With Beelzebub's victory, the gods have 4 wins. Humanity has 4 wins. It's even once again. Right, so now, here's why round 9 works. Not only have we have a tie game, we have 4-4, right? We have 4-4. Now that the gods have won, because humanity lost, now it's anybody's game. Anybody's game. Humanity wasn't going to win round 8 and then round 9. But now that they've lost round 8, humanity can win round 9, narratively speaking. So let's go. Are we going to actually see who's in round 9? That's the cool thing. That's the cool thing. What kind of fierce battle awaits them in the 9th round? Gods and humans both tremble in anticipation. Of course we do. And of course Brunhilde walking along. Oh, this is cool. We're back in the super chamber. We're back in the chamber with the best character. See, she walks by. Oh, wait, they've made them bigger now? Are they bigger or something like that? The room looks different for some reason. Joy, and there's a shot of Lubu. Love. All right, you're going to give one word. Oh, I see. Let's see. Love. Oh, wait, this isn't the same room then. It looks like it, but it's not. It's not because the things are different. Joy, and we're also seeing Hades and Poseidon. Hades, I feel all right, but there's no way that she would be like the whole idea of being in a shrine with humanity, Brother Heracles would like. This can't be that same, like, yeah, because it looks different. Okay, I'm confused here, but all right. So she's going Joy. Joy is Lubu. I mean, all right, that's fair. Love, Adam. Pride, Poseidon. Yeah. Justice, Heracles. Passion, being Raiden. Yeah, all right. Innocence, Zerofuku. I love how Hajin is just fucking skipped. Dignity, Hades. I like that. And Advance, Tesla. They were truly wonderful fighters. Yeah, this is different than the Sanctuary. All right. So she's in a different room, but it's a similar concept to what Hermes is doing. So Brunhilde has 2 rooms with defeated fighters, and Hermes has a sonnet for any, regardless of man or god who loses. All right. Advance. I feel like there's a better word than advance for Tesla. I feel like there was a better word choice. But anyways, they were truly wonderful fighters. And now, oh, she's crying. She's praying and crying again like she did before. But this isn't the Sanctuary. There's no jug. The things aren't small. And she certainly wouldn't be fucking enshrining Poseidon. And we know for a fact she didn't enshrine Poseidon because Heracles was the 3rd one to join. Was the 3rd. We saw them before. So she's in a different room. But she's still praying and crying. All right, yeah. And, oh, there's Buddha. Oh, did Buddha lose an eye? He's got an eye patch. Did he lose an eye? I don't remember the eye patch. You know, Every time I come to see you, Buchan, you're always crying. All right, so Buddha's chilling. Buddha's looking fierce. Buddha's looking all right. We're going to get some lore dumping? All right. All right, before we get into that, we're about halfway through the chapter. Let's catch up with the chat, just in case there's anybody saying anything in the chat. Oh, yeah, there is. Oh, yeah. So I should catch up. Before I continue. Thank you guys very much for the 5 likes, but there's 9 people in here and only 5 likes. I'm sorry I'm not that funny, but please hit the like button if you're sitting here in the stream. I do appreciate it. I do like to be liked. It's nice to be nice to the nice, and it's nice to be liked by the liked, you know? Anyways, all right, so Joseph says, even though Tesla lost, round 8 was one of the greatest fights in the series. It's probably 3rd or 4th for me, but once again, I'll have to really think about it for my ranking video. And I'm pushing for some round 1 agenda, not to be different, because it's undeservedly hated, and as a result of that makes me like it even more and think that people who hate it are just kind of silly. So yeah, so I might put round 1 still above it just to piss off some fucking people. The realist Bedell said, and also because I seriously just straight up enjoyed it. I have problems with round 8. I have 0 problems with round 1. Round 1 has 0 fat and 0 actual problems with the round. It's one of the shortest fights. It's one of the most grotesque and brutal fights. It's quick, clean, to the point. It's one of the most different fights. It's mid-diff on Thor's side. There is nothing, and it's got one of the best attacks, Sky Eater. There is literally nothing wrong with round 1. That's why I just don't get the hatred for round 1. But yeah, round 8 was good though. Realist Medell said also, Chin power of feeling others' pain was retconned. It was, because he should be dead. If he feels pain, why do you think Hades did the whole and all this? Like, there is so much inconsistency. Yeah, Chin had one of the second longest, I think it's currently second longest backstory by page number, right behind Beelzebub, to explain a power that gets retconned in the fight so that Hades loses. And you wonder why people don't like it. Joseph said, I heard this from someone else, but it makes sense. Round 9 is really important because it'll be the final fight of the anime season. Because each season has 3 fights, so season 3 will have 7, 8, and 9. Oh yeah, for season 3. Yeah, I thought you were thinking about part 2. Excuse me. Yeah, no, yeah. Well, yeah, it will be important, of course. I think all the fights are important in their own way. Luann said, Beelzebub dragging himself half dead to the exit. Yeah. Ah, yes, truly a low diff. I know, right? Tenryo said, Beelzebub's smile hints at the beginning of his character arc. Tesla deserves a medal for helping him realize a brighter future. In the same way that Heracles helped Jack, right? Just Heracles sort of did it first. But yeah, it's nice. Like, I like to think that all the characters, most of them, have helped their counterpart in their fight. Zeus now has more respect for humanity, as does Shiva. Thor actually wants to see Lu Bu again. So does Jack with Heracles. They basically became friends while trying to kill each other, and they want them back. Round 6 was kind of fuckery. Zero Fuku dying was kind of like sad and like what was Buddha fighting for? And 7 was just But anyways, for the most part, they help each other. Yeah. Let's see. So Joseph said, even though Beelzebub might not be the best character, you still got to admit his vibration ability was really cool. Yeah, I mean, it was cool. I had no problem with it. And guys, when I asked for more likes, I didn't mean lose viewers. Just saying. Joseph said, speaking of V for Vendetta, would you say I should watch that movie? 100%. It was a great movie. Joseph said, I would surely call him the greatest scientist just because of how detailed thinking, advanced, and adaptive his mind is. I mean, there was some crazy great geniuses across human history, so we'd have to look at a lot of them. Pythagoras, or Pythagoras if you don't pronounce it correctly, is also considered way before his time, for example. So Galileo was another one, but yeah. Luan said the Valkyrie morning scenes come out from another timeline where the Valkyries are actually characters. Yes, yeah. No shit. Joseph said, did you know that in the week of March 20 to 26, 2023, Record of Ragnarok was number 2 in the top 10 best-selling mangas? Blue Lock was number 1 and One Piece was 3? I did not know that. That's interesting. It is a good series. Irene says, it seems like the Valkyrie have more of a personality if they're with a human who wins. Yeah, or they're given more screen time for us to actually give a shit about them. Like, I really enjoyed Thrud with Raiden. That worked, and I felt that one, So, but I didn't feel Adams. I didn't feel Lu Bu's. Sasuke's a little bit. Jax, we got plenty of time with, so yeah, Halak, I believe her name is. We didn't get one in round 6, but yeah. Alright. Tenryo said, the scene with Brunhilde describing the dead fighters reminds me of the aspects of death that each Espada represents. Yeah, sort of just applying this is the core value of that person. Luan said, either progress or curiosity for Tessa. Progress. Progress would have been a better term. I know what they mean by advance, but advance sounds more like the next Pokemon season, Pokemon Advance, Digimon Advance, Yu-Gi-Oh! Advance, Mega Man Advance, Game Boy Advance, right? I feel like, not achievement, and not just science, but yeah, progress or, maybe not willpower, but intelligence? I don't know. But yeah. Joseph said, Buddha now has an eye patch like the bunny on his shirt did but now it doesn't. Oh, geez, I didn't even know that. Good call. Good pick right there. Rainey said, scans of Ragnarok translated advance as progression last chapter, which makes more sense. Progression. Progress or progression. I like that word a lot more. That suits him way better. Joseph said, I saw someone on Reddit making a post where they edited the panel of Jack choking Halak and made her say harder to Jack. I've seen that, and he's like, wait, what? Yeah, I've seen that. Joseph said the fact that the word is progression instead of advance just goes to show that the scans of Ragnarok is a superior translation group. Yeah, that's fair. Mark said, oh, you're reading Mob Psycho 100. I'm a fan of One Punch Man, but I much prefer Mob Psycho. Well, I'm not reading it. I'm leaving it up to the community to, apparently I have to watch it. Because I have a very bad taste in my mouth from my experience with One Punch Man and the One Punch Man community. So, but I did promise if I ever got to 1,000 subscribers, I would give Mob Psycho 100 a chance. Because everyone told me it was far superior and there's none of this redos and redraws and re-fucking retcon every goddamn thing that happens every 5 minutes. So, yeah. So apparently I'm going to get into that sooner rather than later. Yeah. Mark said, V for Vendetta is a top 5 comic book movie for me. Before the Marvel Cinematic Universe happened, it would obviously, I think, be honestly one of the best comic book movies just right out of the gate. It was so well handled. Back when comic book movies were not made well, you know. Even if you have a fondness for some of them, like Daredevil with Ben Affleck, which I have a fondness for because I grew up on it, but is it a very good movie? No. Or some of the Batman films, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, I had no problem with, like, the first Superman film, the Christopher Reeves, you know? Like, I had no problem with that. But, yeah. V for Vendetta is a very good movie. Joseph said, wait, those Pythagoras, that scientist you mentioned. Sorry, I don't know how to spell his name. Pythagoras, I mean. Luan said, a Greek philosopher. Yeah, he was a Greek philosopher. He's a very... He was more of a mathematician / philosopher and stuff, but he was quite ahead of his time with a lot of mathematics more than science, but yeah. Anyways, alright. Since we've lost all our viewers, apparently nobody likes me to respond to chats these days, I don't know. We will jump back into the chapter. Page 18 out of 32. I must admit, it's surprising, says Buddha, to think that Bu-chan would indulge in such sentimental feelings. And she wipes her eyes. First you disappear from your hospital room, and now you're taking a nap in someone else's room without their permission, Buddha? I mean, okay, so this is implied that this is her actual room, where the sanctuary is just that, a sanctuary. Okay. And then, just randomly comes up. There's something I really want to ask you, Bu-chan. So I came here. I mean, Buddha is, he's incorrigible. I like Buddha. I like Buddha's design. I like Buddha as a character. Buddha's a lot of fun. And also, the only one to seem to be able to get her on her toes, other than Heracles, was the only other person that really, like, gets her, like, wait, what? What are you doing? Like, sort of idea, you know? So, that's also fun, too, to have the stoic character get shocked and surprised a lot. Act more human, as it were. Now, remember, he's sent off to look about Siegfried. Now, my understanding of Siegfried is Soul Calibur, you conceited wretched human! I have soul edge. I am nightmare. You know, that's my interpretation of Siegfried. So, very dangerous? Yes. So, if we're going off of any type of Soul Calibur Siegfried turned into nightmare shit, woo baby. Let's go. So I came here. What is it? He's going to ask. Your ex-boyfriend, Siegfried. She was married to that thing? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. And when I say Soul Calibur, I mean the best Soul Calibur. I mean Soul Calibur 2 featuring Link. Best. I would say it's honestly my favorite fighting game, like side-scroll style fighting game, like Mortal Kombat. I forget what you call that style, but the closed arena fighting style, the Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, all that shit. I think that Soul Calibur 2 is perfect. I think it's pinnacle. It's awesome. Voldo is cheap as fuck, but I love that game. I love all the characters. Like Ivy, I like Cervantes. Keelik, cheap as fuck. Siegfried, cheap as fuck. Link, cheap as fuck. You know, it was so fun. Such a good game. So your ex-boyfriend Siegfried, let's go. Are we going to get some dialogue? Oh, look at the aura coming off of this bitch. All right, let's go. Apparently, he's been imprisoned in Tartarus for quite some time now, hasn't he? Wait. Is this all to get Siegfried back? But wait a minute. He sent Kintoki to look into Siegfried, but if Siegfried is in Tartarus, unless this is a report from Kintoki, he's in Tartarus. So if he's been in Tartarus this whole time, but Hades died. So she's overpouring a glass. Let's see. Is there any connection between Ragnarok and your ex, Sigchan? No. Is this the other reason? Oh, Buddha Shock. There isn't. And everything's pouring over. Oh, come on. No use in playing dumb with me, Sig. Is not my ex-boyfriend. Okay, now that's a shock. Wait. Does that mean, wait a minute. It's soap opera time. It's time for the telenovela. Let's go. Trust me, guys. I was raised by my grandmother and my fucking mother. I was watching All My Children Young and the Restless as a child. I didn't get to watch Pokemon until 5 o'clock. So, yeah, let's go. It's soap opera time. All right. So, ex-boyfriend, but not ex-boyfriend. So, there are many ways to look at this. The aura, the statement of he is not my ex-boyfriend. This implies a lot of things. Let's look into this. So, it could be implied that they dated at one point, right? It could be implied that they dated, or what people perceived as dating, but it never got that far because he's an asshole and betrayed her. So she doesn't even consider ever have gone out with him, right? There's that possibility. There's also the possibility that she and completely ignores his existence as a being in the first place, right? Okay, there is that. Here's how I took this. He is not my ex-boyfriend, as in he is not my ex. He was her ex, but now no longer. And currently they are, well, I mean, he'd need an awfully long you-know-what's-it to reach from Tartarus, I assume, but you get the point. Now, there's another possibility that they were never exes, and that's all been staged. They were never exes. They were not on again, off again, will they, won't they, like the common tropes of a sitcom do. No, sir. No. They were never actually off. And he has never been an ex. He's been a boyfriend, a husband, a lover this entire time. Dun, dun, dun. Fuck yeah. All right. I like it. I think that they are certainly involved in some way. They are certainly involved. He is not my ex-boyfriend. The way she said that implies to me, I'm thinking he's not my ex. Whether any longer or never was, she's saying, no, we're together. Well, not saying it, but saying it. In that sort of, you lie by omission sort of idea. Like, I never said he wasn't my husband. I said he wasn't my ex-boyfriend. Right? The way you read into it. So, alright, so Buddha is just, galaxies are working behind Buddha's brilliant mind, and he's just like, the fuck? And boom, baby. Now, if you'll excuse me, Buddha is just done. Buddha is like, what? The evil twin brother came back from the dead to kill the original? Who'da thunk it? And now is in love with his brother's girl? And he actually tried to sleep with her? What? Alright. I have another round to prepare for. And Buddha's still shocked. Still shocked as she leaves. No. No way. Ew. Oh, does not like that at all. Are you seriously? And he's down there, and he's actually sweating. Boo-chan, you're taking your puberty issues too far, aren't you? Oh, but he said ew. So I think Buddha read into it the same that I did. Is that they are still together, or they got back together, and Siegfried is clearly not the man for Brunhilde, at least according to Buddha, saying, no, ew, gross, no. So you're taking your puberty issues too far. Alright, that's one way to say it. Okay, we're going to the underworld. Oh, we're going to go to Tartarus? Are we going to see Siegfried? Alright, so boom. Doom. And way down in the tunnel. There it is. Tartarus. That's a cool looking gate. Kind of reminds me of that book, the Book of Monsters from Harry Potter, the one that like, you know, but still, kind of cool. Just reminds me of something a little more campy. Not a bad. I always like Tartarus from Hercules, the Disney film, where it's spelled Hercules instead Hercules, so it's Hercules. When it's properly pronounced Hercules, but whatever. But yeah, so I always like Tartarus and the Titans in there. That was always cool. Tartarus, and then let's see, and behind the doors and down. Oh, there's multiple cells. Okay, we're seeing there's more than a couple people in here by the looks of it. We got some monsters walking by. One demon just sitting in a chair. Literally a mountain of shit in a cell. A giant ass something from Darksiders. And let's see. It seems that Beelzebub and Sema won the 8th round. They have cell phones in Tartarus. What the fuck? Okay, these guys are cool. This implies we have Raw. These guys are cool. We have a leopard animorph dude and a falcon or a raven animorph dude. 63rd demon of the 72 demons of Solomon, Andrus. And 64th demon of the 72 demons of Solomon, Valorous. Well, that's to be expected. But I heard that even Hades somehow lost. It seems that the strength of humanity has reached an unimaginable level. Indeed, to have a tie of 4 wins and 4 losses is unexpected. Huh? 4 wins and 4 losses? This is going to be Siegfried. Well, that's a shocking development. Amazing. I don't think anyone was expecting this. And then they look on. So which side of Ragnarok are you rooting for as a half human, half god? But that's what Buddha and her... Alright. Oh, no. Are that what they're doing here? Okay. Wait a minute. This is not going to... I don't know if I'm going to like this for just a nitpick reason, but we'll get through the rest of the chapter because it's almost done. That's a difficult question. It's hard to answer that kind of question based on my position. Just give us a quick answer. Hey, wait a minute. It's forbidden to talk back to him. Oh no, that was close. Meow. Hey, come on. Let's talk a little more. You're so noisy. Don't come to talk to me so easily again, meow. Alright, so he's in a big cross like he's been strapped up and stuff. This is boring. Oh, but she's trying her best. I wonder if she's okay. She seems so determined, but she tries way too hard sometimes. Don't push yourself too hard, Hilde. And there's Siegfried looking just... He looks like the Siegfried from Soul Calibur 2. The flowing golden locks of hair, the chiseled abs. Tall and sexy. Siegfried from the Norse. Alright, so the reason... We'll get into the chat in a second. So, very good chapter. Excited. We didn't get the reveal of who's fighting in round 9, but now I always like it when we got background plot. Background plots are really going to step up the game of this series. Now, the thing is, as a half human, half god, what I they're explaining it away, sort of. Like, the Valkyrie are all demigods. But they're accepted, right? They're half human, half gods. It's exactly what Heracles is supposed to be. They completely did an OG backstory for him to make him a full god, but not a full god. Then they did the same thing with Buddha, but turned him into a full god with no drawbacks. Now they've introduced a male half human, half god who stayed half human, half god. Now, once again, poetic license is a thing, and this is just a nitpick, but I feel like they're changing the rules character to character. You know? And I don't know if that's okay or not for me. Like, they seem to be changing the rules on half gods, half humans, and literally taking the ones from fiction, like Heracles is a half god, chose to live with the gods eventually or whatever, but, you know, that kind of deal, but changed it all so he was a human that became a god. Same with Buddha, who became a god, but the rules were different there. And then because of the circumstances, and then the same deal with this guy. Now this guy's a half human, half god. So yeah, I don't know enough about Siegfried, the actual Siegfried. So maybe this is actually sticking to the original mythos much more close than they did for like Heracles and stuff. But yeah, just a minor nitpick. I don't think it's bad necessarily. I just think it's like people were complaining before about favoritism in the series to the Japanese characters and stuff like that. I feel like it's like, yeah, we really need to make sure that Heracles loses, so we have to create a totally OG backstory so we can give him a major handicap for using any godly abilities so that even if he almost loses, he's gonna die anyways. Like, they literally had to fucking destroy him just to make it so he would lose, arguably making one of the best rounds in the series. And then with Buddha, it was, I'm going to my friend's funeral. Humanity's terrible. Nirvana, I'm a god now. And I was like, wait, what? So, yeah, Buddha reaching Nirvana made no fucking sense. I went to a funeral. How many people go to their friend's funeral? Like, seriously. So, yeah. So yeah, the inconsistency with the what's considered a human turned god versus demigods and stuff like that is a little inconsistent in the series. Other than that, though, it was still cool. It was still cool. And I'm sure you guys will school me on Siegfried lore if I don't look it up myself anyways, so that's fine. So let's catch up with the chat. Good chapter, by the way, just in case anybody's still wondering if I don't think so. Just said, so when we're listing great scientists, Pythagoras should be on it. I mean, maybe so. I would say like Einstein would have to be there. I would say Tesla would have to be there. Because math and science sort of go hand in hand. So some of the greatest mathematicians in the world would have to be who created some of the fundamental ways of utilizing science with their mathematical equations, right? So physicists, scientist is such a broad term. So, I mean, maybe. Joseph said, did you know some people ship Buddha and Brunhilde? I can see it. I don't, but I can see it. Tenryu said, I need to see Siegfried fight so badly. Having a knight in Record of Ragnarok is totally hype for me. That would be cool. That would be cool. I always thought we'd get someone like Sir Gawain or something like that. You know what I mean? Like a knight of Arthurian legend. Supposedly the strongest knight. Everyone thinks it's Arthur or Lancelot. Technically speaking, Gawain was the sword master, if you read in deep. Hence, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight usually changed to the Black Knight. The very famous The Black Knight, used in all fiction as this strong, opposing, crazy good swordsman of evil, it's Sir Gawain he fights, not Arthur, not Lancelot. So I always thought Gawain deserved a little bit more. But anyways, Joseph said, ex-boyfriend, oh drama, where's the popcorn? Exactly. Mark, Top Fabricator, says, Buddha does whatever he wants. Sometimes he fights dirty, now he has an eye patch. He reminds me of a certain Bleach captain. Yep. He would definitely fit. Buddha would definitely get along with Shunsui. Let's be real. Let's be 100% real. He would get along with Shunsui, no problem. Just said, not her ex. I'm going to need more popcorn. Rainey said, not my ex-boyfriend. Could either be interpreted as never been in a relationship or that he's still her boyfriend. Exactly. Rainey said, I think it's the latter. Yeah, he's still the boyfriend. Yeah, because that's why Buddha went, ew. You really need to get over your puberty issues. As in, he's the bad boy sort of idea. Like, the way Buddha implied it is that is what the case is, and Brunhilde is with the bad boy, the older, dangerous guy. Ooh, I'm dating a senior in high school, or I'm dating a college guy, you know what I mean? Nowadays, that's completely frowned upon, but when I was a kid, and when I was a teenager, fucking, 21-year-olds used to date 17, 18-year-olds all the fucking time. Nobody cared. People in the last year of high school would date 19, 20-year-olds. That was not a big deal. Oh, now all of a sudden we've drawn this crazy imaginary line about, once they leave high school, it's fair. It's like, what about people who finish high school at 17? There are late bloomers, I'm just saying. It's very strange with that shit. But yeah, no, that's what I'm getting from Buddha's statement, is that he's the bad boy. He's the bad influence. He's older. He's got a motorcycle. You know, he can buy booze. So, Mark said, Buddha is one of my top Ragnarok characters, but I think his backstory kind of sucks. Is it a hot take? I don't. It probably is a hot take. I agree. Buddha's backstory is, while interesting, how he became Buddha the human to Buddha the fucking god was fucking the most bullshit cop-out reason I've ever seen in my fucking life. That was horribly written. The intersection with Zero Fuku's backstory was really good when he was a god. And stuff, but yeah, no, the reaching nirvana thing absolutely had no business being there. And I agree, Buddha is also one of my favorite Ragnarok characters in the present storyline. How he became him, that's some weak sauce shit. That's some weak sauce. Mark said, sorry, had to fix the typing error. No problem. Realist Medell said, I've seen people theorize that Kentucky is going to fight Solomon. But Solomon's not on the list, is he? I didn't see King Solomon's not on the list. And we've already added another god. Well, that was Hades. So Joseph said, when I first saw Siegfried's design, I thought it was Apollo, but I'm kind of glad it's not. No, that's classic Siegfried. Siegfried's always been, the silver knight, blonde, flowing red hair, the classic knight on the white horse. That's what Siegfried's always usually been interpreted as. Mark said, there are some versions of Siegfried where he bathed in blood of the dragon he killed and he was blessed with the power of the dragon. So maybe it was the god of dragons. That would be cool. I'd be good with that. I'd like the idea that they actually acknowledge maybe it didn't fully take. You know how Heracles was supposed to die by drinking Zeus's blood? And he didn't, so he became Heracles. He became a god. What if you survive it, but it goes wrong? Sort of idea. Maybe something like that. Maybe they'll do something. I would like just a reference. If we're going to have another human turned god, I'd like a reference to Heracles and why it's different. Maybe it sort of failed and maybe it drove him a little cuckoo. And that's why Buddha's like, oh no, not that fucking guy. Could be though. Joseph said, I don't know much about Siegfried's lore, so I can't come up with any theories. Mark said, sorry, I meant to say he bathed in the blood of the dragon he killed, and he was blessed with the power of the dragon. Right. Joseph said, if they have had a Mayan god in the story, I would love to see them speak some Spanish. Also, Mayans have gods of tattoos, bats, and even bees. Also, gods of murder, sacrifice, poison, and spiders. Well, a lot of pantheons have a shit ton of minor gods. Just look at the Japanese. They have, a god of literally, houseplants. They have a god of houseplants. They have a god of, kettles. They have a god of this. Well, I shouldn't say gods necessarily. Sometimes revered as gods. But they have, household demon gods and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, it's all over the place with that. Just said, I feel like those can give some characters some. I mean, yeah. Either way, I think the chapter was good. I like that Siegfried looks more like his classic design. That when I picture Siegfried, that's what I think of. So that's kind of cool. Once in a while, you can sort of stick to what they're supposed to. You don't always have to go 100 degrees in the other direction just to write something original. So yeah, I think it's fine. And as I said, the chapter was good. So yeah. Anyways, Realist Mandel said theories is Kentucky is going to fight Solomon, who probably is the warden of Tartarus. Oh, like an off-screen fight. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. I can see that. I'd like a few more off-screen fights. Joe said, I feel like those give a character some potential for being a god of something interesting while not being well known for being a god of that. Once again, we're also doing more well-known characters here and there. We're using famous people from history, and we're using famous people from the gods, For the most part, if you've studied history at all, you knew about, 8 or 9 on the human list at least. You've heard of them. And same with the gods. If you studied any type of mythology whatsoever, you knew almost every name on that list too. So, I know that people make up these fan lists, and that's fun and all, but if you go too far out there, everyone's going to be like, okay. Like, one of the pros and cons at the same time of Ragnarok is that people are super excited now that they know what the story is about to see how they're going to interpret people that they respect, or they're like, oh my god, like Loki is one of my favorite gods in you know, he's just so cool. I always liked Loki. I can't wait to see what they do with Loki. Or you're like, I've always loved the story of Rasputin. Rah, rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen, you know. I love that song. Like, let's go, you know, and stuff like that. The pro of that is that you get more people influenced. If nobody knew who Quetzalcoatl is and shit like that, nobody's going to care, right? If you start summoning gods like from Final Fantasy, like Ifrit and the fucking Quetzalcoatl and fucking Ramu and shit, no, everyone's going to be like, who? What? When? You know, it's like, well, where's Zeus? Where's Poseidon? Where's the ones we know, right? Where's Odin? So you can't go too far with that. And then on the other side with the humans, same idea. You got to use the more popular people. The thing is that it's a double-edged sword, because you have the pro of people getting excited for that. People won't get excited for a majority of people who aren't deep into, you know, lesser known mythologies and history, aren't going to know these people, and they're not nearly going to be as invested or as excited. The problem lies in that the con is that it has to make now every fight has to be high diff. We're never going to see another low diff, mid diff fight in the rest of the series because fan backlash. Fan backlash is a serious contender, and that's one of the big problems. Is that if you had Nostradamus go up against Odin, and Odin fucking decimated him in like 2 chapters, everyone would be like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, great from a narrative perspective, the gods should be dominating some of these fights, and they're not, and that's more unrealistic considering how the beginning of the series started, and how Adam being able to go toe-to-toe with Zeus was the trump card for an easy W. And we can honestly agree, I think we can agree, anybody else Adam goes up against, he's probably basically one chaptering. So, and Thor mid-diff Lubu. Ever since then, we haven't been allowed to have a high diff fight. Round 6 nearly did it clean. Nearly did it. They had an OG character lose. Nobody cared about Zerafuku other than me. Nobody cared that he got low diffed. You weren't pissing off any fans. Perfect. And they fucked it all up. But anyways, yeah. And Chin only won, I agree. Chin only won because Kingdom popularity, but yeah. So Joseph said, I feel like those give a character some potential for being a god of something interesting while not being well known for being a god of that. Oh, I already read that. Mark said, with the way Siegfried was talking, he came off as though I carefree teenager, which I don't mind. Yeah, no, he's got this whole he's reminding me a little bit of Bond right now from Seven Deadly Sins. He's in a dungeon cell probably being tortured. He's all screwed up and he's like, well, I'm getting bored of this, you know. So Realist Mandela said, one of the theories I've seen is that Solomon is the warden of Tartarus and Kadoki has to fight him. I already read that, Realist. And I'm like, yeah, okay. That'd be cool. Joseph said, but isn't it still interesting to learn about figures you don't previously know about and find them interesting? I mean, that's what happened to me when looking at fan rosters. Yes, that's true, but you can only have 1 or 2 of those people. You can only have 1 or 2. You can't ex-nay. For example, you can't take... You wouldn't be able to make a roster without adding the most well-known names in history to both sides for the majority of them. Nobody would care. It sounds like a cool idea for a history buff or a mythology buff, if that's what you are, Joseph. But for marketing and selling purposes... I mean, granted, I love mythology, but if I sat there and looked at a roster that had no Thor, no Zeus, no Shiva, no Buddha, no Odin, I'd be sitting there like, yeah, great, we got 2 Mayan gods, a couple of unknown Japanese gods I've never heard of, some fucking Chinese god. Like, I'd be like, my investment falters as a result. Yes, learning about them, but also remember, we're not really learning about them. A lot of people don't, go, oh man, I wonder who Lu Bu is, and actually look up his entire actual history Wikipedia page. They know Lu Bu from the series, and that's the series they take. People who have never heard of Heracles probably don't know that he's actually a demigod, and none of his backstory is anywhere close to the real story of Heracles. So you're not really learning. This isn't exactly educational reading, so I get what you're trying to say, but I don't think that it works that way. It does for some people, like yourself, but I don't think it happens for everyone. Mark said, I think what made me like round 8, while the fighting elements vary, it was Tesla's character and charisma that made it good. I think so, too. I think he was... And the powers, actually having powers, even though they were more of a slugfest still, it was a little different because it was shield versus electricity and stuff. It was kind of cool. Caden said, Oi! Oh, what's up, Caden? Realist Mandela said, sorry, I've been doing some stuff and I forgot I typed that again. That's alright. It's all good. Joseph said, yeah, I'm a huge enthusiast on mythology, theology, folklore, world history, etc. So yeah, I guess I am a bit biased. Well, that's the thing. If you're getting that out of it, that's fantastic. But some people are going to be surface level only readers and still have a great time. But you don't want your... But surface level readers are the majority level readers of any media. You know? Like, you watch a season of a Star Wars show like The Mandalorian, there are Easter eggs. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. Grew up on the movies. But before there was any other content, before Disney got a hold of it. But the thing is that, you know, there are Easter eggs in there that even I don't fucking pick up on, you know? And they're great for Easter eggs, but you can't throw them in as a main plot or a main plot point of a show where you're trying to get people who have only seen the movies can go in and watch the show. That's your target audience. That's who you need to appease. You need to appease fans with subtle Easter eggs and cameos, but outside of that, meh. It's a balancing act. It really is. And in the same way with Record of Ragnarok, you want to draw in your history and your mythology buffs, but at the same time, your target audience are people who like a fighting manga. They are manga readers, and they like action manga, battle manga. At the end of the day, that's who you're trying to appease. So you have to go forth with there. And using more why do you think the Fate series is so popular? It's not really that good. The Fate series isn't really that good. One of the Fate series, the one with the dude trying to save his wife's life or whatever, that's a good one. But I've read or watched a couple of the other Fates, and I'm like, this is one of those weird light novel series that has like 18 anime adaptations, and it's like, then none of them are really that good, you know. So, but it's popular because they use what? What do they use? They use Alexander the Great, Gilgamesh, King Arthur. You know, they use the big names. Kane said, to say it was a complete victory in Beelzebub favor is total BS. Favor spelled wrong. I agree. He barely beat my boy Tesla and didn't have Hades Kane. He would have been defeated by Tesla. Most likely. Realist Medella said, hopefully the animal demons are sign that Anubis will have his jackal head. Anubis better have his fucking jackal head, and I don't want him to do one of these whole, oh, I'm actually a human underneath. Fuck you. If anything, turn into a giant jackal. Caden said, I guess in this version they never broke up if she's just trying to break him out of Tartarus. Yeah. What human team do you think they're going to send to get him out? Buddha is 100% going. I don't think Buddha wants that to happen. I'm not sure. I don't know what they're going with that one. Joseph says, speaking of Anubis, have you seen the image of a fan design of Anubis I posted in your Discord in the Shuumatsu section? If you posted it before an hour ago, then yeah, I definitely saw it whenever you posted it. I probably liked it. I'm scared to open it right now because the internet's so weird. I'll double check. No, it loaded just fine. Oh yeah, no, it's okay, but no jackal head. I don't want it. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, no. It's not a bad design, just not what I want for Anubis. Mark said, it's the same reason why I like Seki versus Mutaba. I love Mutaba. While the fighting elements are very good, what makes it so good is Seki and Mutaba being the coolest motherfuckers. They are. Seki is a badass. and Mutaba. Dude, like, let's just be real. Can we just have an appreciation for the guy who makes all our wives and girlfriends? We are useless by comparison to this macho ass motherfucker. None of us compare to this man. We should just give up now. Like, I'm serious. Mutaba is that guy. He's amazing. Fucking Mutaba. Caden said, saying that shouldn't Beelzebub have turned into a big ass fly? I mean, I would have been cool with that. But then again, I also wanted Beelzebub to literally be just another name for the devil. I wanted him to literally be the Christian devil. We had Adam, we had Eve, we had the serpent, we have Jesus in the fucking crowd. I was good with Beelzebub. That's why I was disappointed in Beelzebub in the first place. He was just this fucking emo kid, this emo teenager in a priest robe, Lord of Flies, instead of being just one of the 7 names of the devil. You know, Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, that kind of idea. Leviathan. He could have just been, that could have been the name he went by, and he could have shown up fucking suave as hell, looking like James motherfucking Bond. I would have been way more happy. Yeah, my expectation for Beelzebub and what we got, whew, night and day, baby. Night and day. So Beelzebub turning into a giant ass fly. Honestly, Beelzebub, though we fought with the vibration staff, which is kind of cool, my problem is we were led to believe this dude was a Mayori Kuretsuchi motherfucker with all his cyborgs and his technology and all this shit. He literally goes up against a scientist and uses Hades' powers to fight. Doesn't use science, doesn't use poison, doesn't use chemicals, doesn't use fucking robotics, doesn't use cybernetics, doesn't use cloning, doesn't use fucking test tube babies, doesn't use nothing. Nothing scientist related, yet the entire time leading up to the fight, he was a scientist. What the flying fuck? Beelzebub, most inconsistent character in the whole fucking series. Let's be real. So that's the problem. They tried to set up Beelzebub, thought it wasn't working, and switched it up. That's what I feel happened. Mark said, one of the best moments in Kengan. How did you like my mercenary acting? Yes, Mutaba. I can't wait to have Mutaba show up on the inside right now. If Mutaba shows up on the inside, I'm gonna... Yeah. Mutaba shows up on the inside. Panties are dropping all over the fucking country when that happens. I'm just saying. Caden said, did you see Tony Stark in the crowd of scientists that was giving respect to Tesla and to the future of technology and science for humanity? No, I did not. I can jump back really quick, I believe. Let's see. Where's the... I mean, I suppose that dude could be Tony Stark. Yeah, in behind there. Maybe he's just a dude with a mustache. But yeah, could be him. Yeah. Kane said Leviathan is the weakest of the 7. Depends on your interpretation. Once again, Leviathan has sometimes been used as the name of the devil himself. So you have Satan, Lucifer, Mammon, Leviathan, Beelzebub. I forget the other 2 names. Shit. Samael, I believe. And one other. Anyways. The man's got 7 names. The 7 crown princes of hell have sometimes not been actually separate 7 princes. Sometimes there's 7 separate demons. Other times they're simply synonyms for the same guy. The devil himself. So yeah. Realist Medell said, so depending on the interpretation you're reading, yeah, Leviathan might be the weakest. Or he's a water dragon. I mean, depends on the interpretation. Realist Medell said, Leviathan is one myth stated to fight God at the end of everything. Yeah. Sometimes he's the calamity that ends the world. It just depends. Can't say test tube babies is going a bit far, don't you think? No. Dante's Inferno had unbaptized babies coming at me and I had to kill them. So, I mean, why couldn't this series do something like that? Joseph said, Belhagor and Asmodeus. Asmodeus. Yeah, those are the other names. Kane said, but I do like what Beelzebub said about the gods and humanity not much different from each other, that they're both sides are hypocritical and flippy-floppy. Yeah, I like that. I actually like that moment. Joseph said, are the names. Yes, thank you very much. Kane said, and he got his ass whooped by God in that myth. I mean, still, is what it is. Anyways, we're losing viewers anyways. We've been talking for an hour and almost 30 minutes. We've already read the chapter. We've had a great discussion with all you people. Thank you guys very much for joining as always. Was there enough people? Yeah, I can say thank you to Caden, Joseph, Realist, Medell, Mark, the Top Fabricator, Luann, trying to make sure I don't forget anybody here. I'm scrolling up. Irene, Tenryo, I already said Luann, Misk was in here for half a second, Justin was here, for a little bit. This Uchiha some type person, and I think that was everyone. If I missed your name, apologize, but thank you very much for interacting in the chat. That's usually what makes these streams so much fun. Even on shorter chapters like this one, it was 32 pages and stuff, I have a lot more fun with an interactive chat. It just makes things a lot funner than just sitting here reacting, you know what I mean? So, especially for a monthly series when there's a lot to discuss. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. As I said at the beginning of the stream where it was all glitchy, yes, the One Piece reaction is coming out. Yes, the Kengan Omega reaction is coming out. Yes, the Yona the Dawn reaction is coming out. And yes, I am going to make a round 8 or a round ranking video now that round 8 is officially concluded. I will be remaking my ranking of all the rounds, and I'm going to be giving some special love to round 1 because it doesn't actually have any flaws, regardless what people think. So, yeah, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see. Oh, Caden said one last thing. That is supposed to be a reference to Tony Stark, and he's been there since the beginning of the fight. If the manga comes out in an interview and says that's supposed to be Tony Stark, fantastic. But, I mean, it could just be wishful thinking on our part. It might be intentional, it might not. Hard to say. That's my stance on it anyways. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys back here next time. Have a good one. Drink responsibly. All that fun jazz. We'll see you back here next time for Chapter 78. I'm actually really looking forward to 78. I feel like we will find a little bit more about Siegfried. We're also going to get who's going to join in round 9. At least one of the combatants will be revealed next chapter. I'm sure of it. We'll see you guys back here next time for that big reveal. Bye-bye.